Out of all of the EDC lineups that I have seen over the years, this one by far has had the most critiques and the most hate that I have ever seen. So let's get into it. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are diving into the EDC Las Vegas 2023 lineup. It is finally here. It definitely took a little bit longer than usual, and there was definitely a lot of criticism surrounding this lineup, and I'm not going to go fully into my rant about it. You guys can go check out my TikToks on those, but there was a lot of critiques and hate on this lineup, I feel like, and so hopefully through my video today, you can find a lot of gems and artists to explore and whatnot. There's just a lot of things that go into booking that I think a lot of people don't realize, and there's a lot of factors that go into booking an EDC lineup. I still think it's a pretty great lineup. I think there are a lot of standout artists to check out. There's a lot of artists that are getting to play their first EDC, and there's a lot of specialty acts and whatnot. All in all, what I will say about the lineup, of course, it's EDC. We care about the music. We love the music, but there's just so much to explore at EDC. They've done so much with the experience. So if you have gaps in your schedule, go explore other stages, go explore other things. You know, they have downtown EDC. They have all these different areas on the map that you can go check out and explore. You know, I've been to EDC so many times, and I feel like there's still parts and activities and things that I haven't done. So that's all I'll really say about it. So I'm going to go through this whole lineup. I'm going to try to be very quick about it and not go into too much detail about some of these, but just be very quick and give you some recommendations. And I'll also share, you know, my top picks for each day. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. Leave me a comment. Let me know who you're excited for. I do have a ton of EDC videos that I will link down below for you guys. And I also did find a Reddit post, which thanks to this person, they put together some Spotify playlists for you guys. So if you want to go dive into some of those artists even more, I will link those down below for you as well. Without further ado, let's get into it. Kicking it off, we got Above and Beyond. This is going to be very iconic and memorable set. Anytime Above and Beyond is at EDC, it's a great time. Alison Wonderland, this is going to be one of her last sets she plays before she goes on her maternity leave. She's going to be 9 months pregnant at EDC, so I feel like she's just going to throw down. Anabel Englund is one of my all-time favorites. She's a vocalist, she's a house artist, she's incredible. Highly recommend checking her out. DC is great for drum and bass. Arm & Hammer for some of those future bass melodic vibes. If you like Illenium and you haven't checked out Arm & Hammer, definitely recommend. I know a lot of people were upset about Illenium, so I'm gonna like point out some artists similar. ARTBAT, I love ARTBAT for some melodic techno. I've seen them twice now and definitely a great time. Azzecca is going to be a melodic house and techno artist that is definitely one to watch, and I highly recommend you check her out. This is going to be her first EDC, which is super exciting. Barely Alive is a very notable dubstep artist, very great to check out if you are into bass music. Biscits, back-to-back Martin Ikin, I feel like is going to be such a fun vibe, tech house vibe, high energy vibe. I'm curious to see how their energies kind of mix together, how their music mixes together. I feel like this will be a really good set to see at Stereo Bloom. Blastoise is going to be in the trance type of genre. Blue Claire and Born Dirty are really great house artists to check out. Carola, I wasn't too familiar with. This is going to be a Brazilian house artist. She's definitely very popular in Brazil. But it was very groovy, tech house, had a little bit of like that Brazilian influence to it too. So I definitely have her on my radar now. Champagne Drip for some of that wobbly experimental bass would be really great. I do really enjoy Cloverdale's music. He's more in the house type of genre, would be cool to check out. Cosmic Gate is another trance artist. Datweekas is going to be hardstyle. David Guetta, I talked about him in my Ultra video. You know, I'm good. I'm all right. I'm going to have the best time at another set. David Guetta is good to check out if you haven't seen him. So if you want to check him out, definitely do so. David Morales is going to be a 90s house DJ. There are a lot of iconic legendary DJs on this lineup, and David Morales is one of them. Disco Dom, this is going to be Dombresky's disco set that he has. I feel like this is a cool specialty set to check out. I would probably go see this Disco Dom set versus a Dombresky set, just because I've seen a lot of Dombresky sets before. Then we have Disco Lines. This is an up and coming tech house artist, variety of house. I wouldn't necessarily put him in tech house, but I feel like I haven't seen a set from him, but his music is all very like feel good, high energy. I'd be curious to see what a set is from him. Then we have DJ Anime. This is going to be hard style. Same with DJ Isaac and Dr. Funk. Duke Dumont, I really do enjoy his music. I have seen a set of his a couple of times. I didn't enjoy his Electric Forest set for whatever reason, but if you've never seen Duke Dumont, I still recommend checking him out, especially if you love his music. You know, he does put on a good set and a good vibe. I just wasn't vibing to his Forest set for some reason last year. Dustin Hussein is going to be trance. Eli Brown, one of my favorite, like, tech house. He's actually more like techno house, right? It has like, it's house, but it has more of that techno flair to it. Some of it is techno. One of my favorites, his new song, Be The One, has been on repeat for days. I love him. Eliminate, when I checked out, was like a variety of bass. It was hard to pinpoint it. I heard a bass house song. I heard an experimental bass song. I then heard like, you know, more of like a dubstep type song. So Eliminate was more of like that variety of bass. Then we have Eptic. This is another iconic bass artist that is definitely has been to EDC, but you also see him in back-to-backs and stuff like that. Fallen, back-to-back Richter with MC Dino. This is going to be drum and bass. Then we have Ferry Corsten. This is going to be trance. Fisher is always a good time, guaranteed good time if you need a set to go see. Friction is going to be drum and bass. Frost Top, I know a lot of people were upset that ISO EXO is not on the lineup. If you want more of that like trap, aural grime type music, Frost Top is a really good option to go see. I'll be seeing him, I believe, at Electric Forest, I'm pretty sure. Funk Case, another classic bass artist to check out. Galantis, always feel good vibes. Then we have GRiZ. GRiZ at EDC, I feel like would just be so much fun for some of that funky bass, good time energy, 100%. HANA, I wasn't too familiar with, but then I actually had a couple of her songs saved. She's an Anjuna Deep type artist, has some of those like dreamy, melodic type deep house music. She had posted that she's going to be playing at the Dream State stage. So I think the Dream State stage she meant is like Quantum Valley, and I feel like they're going to start, you know, pushing in some of those Anjuna Deep type artists, which I think is cool. Hint of Lavender for some funky, groovy house. I've been wanting to see them. I've seen them on a couple of lineups. Definitely would love to see. Hugel has some of that like Latin house influence. If you like Matroda and like San Pacho, you would definitely like Hugel. I've been wanting to see Hugel. I think I'll get to see him at Electric Forest. You have 3 chances to see James hype. You got a Friday set, a Saturday set, and a Sunday set. So do with that what you will. I'm curious if all of those sets are going to be different, like any of them are going to be themed. Some people said that like maybe some of them will be a back-to-back, which I don't think is true because they would have booked it like a back-to-back. But there you go, 3 James hype sets. Then we have Jerome Isame. This is going to be trance. Cave On for some of that future bass that just hits you in your soul. Kill Script for some techno. Cream, I really do love. Pretty similar artist to Medusa. I love this trio. Definitely check out their sets on YouTube if you want to get an idea of their vibe. Lady Sinclair, this is an up-and-coming house artist. She actually played an art car in 2022, so I think it's really cool to see her moving on up into the main billing for EDC. I just think that's super cool. Lenny D and Little Texas are going to be hardstyle. Loco Dice, back-to-back Fisher. I feel like this will be a really cool back-to-back to check out. I would be curious to see what their kind of like, you know, vibes are together. Then we have Louis Vega. This is also going to be another classic house DJ that started in the 2000s. Love Fingers and Heidi Lawton. This is actually a husband and wife duo, which I thought was so fascinating. And when I listened to one of their sets, it was a variety of music. So variety of music, variety of genres. I'd be really interested to see, you know, what their vibe is like. And I feel like they might put them at Stereo Bloom for this set. Martin DeJong is going to be trance. Mark V is a house DJ, house artist. I saw him play on an art car in 2021. So I think it's really cool. Again, another artist that played an art car is now on the main billing for EDC. And I did really enjoy his art car set from what I can remember. Marshmello, I don't have too much to add here. I haven't seen Marshmello in a long time, but if you like Marshmello, seeing him at EDC on EDC production, I'm sure would be amazing. Matroda, I know my friend Garrett is super happy to see Matroda. We saw Matroda last year on Circuit Grounds. I'm curious if they'll put him at like Kinetic Field or something this year. I feel like that would be awesome for him. Matt Fax is going to be like your melodic house. He does have a release on This Never Happened, which is Lane 8's label. He has releases on Anjuna Deep, so kind of similar dreamy, melodic, deep house. I'm glad that EDC started to incorporate some of this genre, because I feel like a lot of times people would say it's like too boring for EDC, but I think it's really cool that they're definitely starting to add more and more over the past 2 years. Medusa is always a great set to see. I love the journey that they just take everyone on. Memba is going to be a variety of bass. I know Odessa really puts Memba on with some of their events that they have. I believe they do have either a song together or a remix or something. If you listen to a lot of Memba's music, you might recognize it, like if you haven't before. I definitely would be interested in seeing them. I haven't gotten a chance to see them. Mike Dunn is going to be another classic house, DJ that's been around since the 80s. So I think because in the Insomniac 30 years, they are bringing, some of these iconic and legendary DJs. So definitely, if you are interested and love house music, go check out some of these artists and really listen to like the roots, right? The roots of where this genre was founded in. I think it's just so, so important. Miss Dre, this is going to be an up and coming house artist. Then we have Nostalgics. This is going to be bass house, high energy set. I love her energy and she just seems super sweet and super great. I did see her go back to back last year with Wednesday. But I've yet to see a full set from her and I definitely would love to. Odd Mob had that song Left to Right that blew up last year, left to right, left to right. I'd be curious to see what a set from him actually looks like. Omar Santana, this is going to be hard style. Patrick Topping is just always a good time and just a stand-up guy. I love his label, Trick Label. Definitely recommend checking out Patrick Topping if you like house, and he may throw in a little bit of techno there too. Paul Denton is going to be trance. Pauline Herr is someone I'd be interested in seeing. I thought she was a vocalist, but I think she's actually producing, some future bass type music. So I'd be interested in seeing her. Pretty Pink, I am so surprised I'm just now discovering. She is like more melodic house, but very similar to like a Miss Monique, Medusa, really takes you on a journey. She is definitely on my radar now. Like I've been binging her music and I want more and I would love to see her. Reaper is going to be drum and bass. Riot 10 back-to-back Jessica Audifred. I feel like this is going to be a crazy back-to-back. I feel like this will be insane. Yeah, they both just go super hard. Said the Sky for some feel good future bass type vibes. I love Said the Sky. San Pacho, I've said if you like Matroda, if you like Wade, you would like San Pacho. If you like Biscits even, you would like San Pacho. I've been dying to see him. I feel like he's definitely up and coming. Shay is going to be hardstyle. Side piece is Party Favor back-to-back Nitty. Very good high energy tech house set. They play dope remixes. It's just a good time. My friends and I were shuffling to their set at Electric Forest, just having a blast. Sound Rush is going to be hardstyle. Sullivan King back-to-back Kaiwa Chi is definitely another high energy back-to-back where they're going to burn bass pod to the ground. You know what I mean? Vinny Vici for some trance, Warface for some heart style, and then we have Wax Motif back-to-back Mala. This is not a back-to-back I don't think I've ever seen, and I think it's a very interesting back-to-back. Again, I'd be curious how their sounds blend, how they work together. Like, I'd be very curious about it all. And then the final artist for Friday, this is going to be Yetep. I've actually been listening to his SoundCloud set since like 2016, 2015, like when I was in college. So I'm not sure if this is his first EDC, but I always think about like, going from SoundCloud mixes to now playing EDC. I just think that's super cool to get to watch. I have that same kind of feelings with Kayvon. I listened to his music way back in the day, not that far back, but just still super cool to watch an artist grow like that. So I definitely love Yetep. If you're sad about Illenium, go see Yetep. My top picks for Friday, rounding it all out, I definitely recommend seeing Above and Beyond. I'm going to recommend Alison Wonderland, Anabel Englund, ARTBAT, Azzecca, Biscits back-to-back Martin Ikin, Carola, David Morales, Eli Brown, GRiZ, HANA, Loco Dice back-to-back Fisher, Pauline Herr, Pretty Pink, San Pacho, and Yetep. So 16 artists. Of course, when the set times come out, things are just going to happen. You know what I mean? So you might only see like a handful of these artists, but hopefully that helps you. That's day one. Moving on to Saturday, GRiZ, I don't know too much about in terms of what he brings to his set. I saw like an ultra set of his from last year and I felt like it was just pretty generic, to be quite honest, but maybe go check him out for me. Let me know what you think about it. I definitely should check him out before I give like too big of an opinion. I feel like Afrojack's Sunrise set sounds very intense, but very fun. I feel like if you're a fan of Afrojack, that's going to be a good time. AK Sports, I found to be like a hybrid of bass, techno, break beats. I feel like this is an artist that will be at Neon Garden. Alok is some of that high energy slap house type music. I know my friend, the corporate raver, absolutely loves Alok. AT Dust, this is going to be trance. Audio Freck was hardstyle. Ben Nicky presents Emotional Havoc. I found this set to be super intriguing. I found it on YouTube and it was trance, but then also it had this interesting like blend of techno even in it. And there's definitely some overlap sometimes between trance, techno, and even hardstyle. And so that's what I was kind of finding with this set, which I thought it was very interesting. Like I would be interested in going to see that, honestly. Ben UFO, if you like Fortet or if you know who Fortet is, I'm sure a lot of you do. This is a DJ that just plays a variety of genres. Like he kind of just goes all over. And like I saw him play with Fortet in last year. And I really enjoyed it. I had a good time. I would be curious to go just to see what he plays and whatnot. And I'm definitely curious where they're going to put him. Billy Gills, I think is how it's pronounced. That's going to be trance. Then we have Boris Brejcha. I honestly don't even know his genre, but it's definitely like almost like progressive house, progressive techno even. Very talented. A lot of people love Boris Brejcha. I don't believe I still have seen a full set. I like miss it anytime I get a chance to, but definitely has still been on my list to see a full set of. Camden Cox, this is going to be a vocalist that also, this is going to be a vocalist that also produces, has very like euphoric, melodic kind of deep house music, almost trance-like too. Very similar to like an Anabel Englund that I was talking about earlier. Then we have CHANEY. I love a lot of his house songs. Definitely would be fun to see. If you like Biscits and like Martin Ikin, that would be a similar vibe to it. Even like Mark Knight. I believe he has a lot of releases on Mark Knight's label too. We all know I love Chris Lake. I'm still bitter. I missed his EDC set last year. We're not going to talk too much about it, but you guys know I love him. Sid back-to-back stage Armstrong. I feel like this will be a groovy, funky, tech house kind of vibe. Kuhn is going to be hardstyle. Danny Days was a DJ from the 90s, plays like a variety of genres. Darren Styles is going to be hardstyle. Dionysus and Yusuf presents Bigger, Stronger, and Faster. This is going to be hardstyle. Dom Dalla is always a good time. Dombresky is always a good time. Excision back-to-back Dion Timmer. I feel like a lot of people are hyped up about this back-to-back. Fallon is tech house. It was like a groovy kind of tech house, minimal tech house. Hadn't heard of him before, but definitely was intrigued by his music. Ferreck Dawn is definitely a house artist I've had on my list for way too long. I absolutely love him. So if everyone can go check out Ferreck Dawn for me, please and thank you. I've been dying to see him. Yuri, back-to-back Night Stalker. This is going to be drum and bass. Gareth Emery presents Decades. I feel like this is going to be a specialty trance type set. Giuseppe Ottaviani. This is going to be trance. Abstract for some bass house vibes. Hot Since 82 is always a good time. Hades was bass. We have another James hype set on Saturday. Then we have James. I absolutely love this artist. This is an artist that I have been loving a lot of their releases. Pretty similar almost to like kind of like a Fred again in a way. And also similar to like DJ Seinfeld, that kind of vibe. I'd be very curious to see what he brings to EDC. And we have John Bryars, which I'm going to be honest, I didn't find too much on him. Jorza is going to be trance. Gesture, this is going to be a high energy type set. If you like, Valentino Khan, if you like 4B, you'll love Gesture. I love Gesture. I feel like he's just such a good person and he's super funny. Cascade is always great. Always good to see at EDC on that EDC production. Kaytraynada. I was so surprised to see Kaytraynada on here, but I'm very intrigued by it. I feel like they'll put him on like Cosmic Meadow maybe. But I feel like, this is definitely a special moment to see Kaytraynada on this lineup and to see him at EDC. KETTAMA, I don't know how to pronounce it. I definitely checked out their music and it was more of like that vibey type house. Korolova is going to be very similar to like your Medusa, your Miss Monique, even similar to that Pretty Pink I was talking about. Korolova I've definitely had on my list to check out. Next up we have is Lady Faith. This is going to be hardstyle. Layla Benitez, this is going to be a house artist and DJ. She plays a lot at Space, so it's tech house, but it's more of that like takes you on a journey, like very melodic, that kind of tech house. I've been really wanting to see her. I definitely would love to see her at EDC. I feel like they'll put her at like Factory 93 maybe. Mal P has been blowing up in the past year. I have not seen a full set of his. I feel like this will be a very packed set, similar to like a Dom Dolla and John Summit type crowd. Metrik back-to-back Grafix. I know a lot of drum and bass fans were super stoked on that. Mian, Michael Bibi, and Mochakk are all incredible house artists. We all know I love them. So I'm not going to talk too much about them, but these are all, you can't go wrong with any of these three. Motapit is an up-and-coming house artist. I've really been enjoying some of their releases. This could be someone to watch and check out. It was bound to happen. I missed a whole line. Some of these lineups, you guys, it's just so hard to keep track of where I'm at. So we have Moody Good. This is a bass artist. They're going to be doing a throwback set. So I'd be curious to see what kind of like throwback set that would entail. I know a couple of bass artists have done like OG dubstep sets and like throwback dubstep sets, like stuff like that. So if you're into bass, that would probably be cool to see. Morton is going to be that future rave style. He's done a lot of collaborations with David Guetta. Miss Mata, back-to-back Bake, is a similar vibe to like Layla Benitez. These are two kind of artists, DJs that have that space kind of tech house sound to it. So I feel like them at like Neon Garden or something would be really good. Nala, I absolutely love Nala. She definitely has more of that unique house sound, and she sings on some of her tracks. She might sing live. I really do enjoy her sound and her songs. Netsky for some drum and bass. Noizu, we all know I love Noizu, love a good Noizu set. And Paka Osuna, I don't think I've seen a solo set from him, but I have been wanting to. He plays house, he plays techno. He's definitely good at what he does. They'll probably put him at Neon Garden. Ray Volpe, I feel like is going to have a moment at EDC, especially with his laser song. I feel like this set is going to pop off. It's going to be a good time. I'm super stoked for him. I think this is going to be his first EDC, which is super exciting. Rebellion is going to be hardstyle. Salute, I freaking love Salute. I am going to tell you to go check out his Boiler Room Melbourne set just to get a vibe. It's groovy house. I call it sparkly house. It just makes you feel sparkly. It makes you feel good. I'm coining that. But yeah, I love Salute. Definitely go check him out. I was jealous about this one. So jealous about this one. Sherelle, from what I listened to, was a variety. It was jungle, it was drum and bass, footwork, like a variety of genres. And I believe this artist is from the UK. So if that gives you kind of like an idea. Soft is Hard I wasn't too familiar with, but I do see them on a lot of lineups. I believe she's more bass, and that's like Gesture, 4B, kind of like that high energy type set. Then we have Sunny Federa. This is a really solid house set to see. I'm going to be honest. I love his music, but I did not like seeing him live, but that could have just been a bad night. I would love to see him again and give him another chance. Space Laces. This is a really solid dubstep act to see and bass artist to check out. Spencer Brown for some of that like feel good, melodic, almost trance-like music. I really do love Spencer Brown. I've seen him a couple times. Sue and Sub-Zero Project. This is going to be hardstyle. Subtronics is going to throw down. Sullivan King will throw down. Sudden Death, I think, is debuting a new set called Into the Inferno. I don't know too much about that. The Martinez Brothers. I saw the Martinez Brothers. Wasn't, all that jazzed about it, which I was really disappointed about because I've heard so much about the Martinez Brothers. I think it could have been a bad night. Would like to see them again. I've always heard good things, but the set I saw was just kind of mid. I hate saying that, but it was kind of mid. Tiesto, always a good time. Seeing Tiesto play on a stage like Kinetic Field is very just like euphoric and like a moment, right? It's very iconic. Tom and Collins is a great house duo. Trioed is going to be trance. Valentino Khan for some of that like bouncy house. Vinny Vici has another trance set, I believe. Warface back-to-back Disturb is going to be hardstyle. West End, really great tech house artist. He's so talented. He's so nice. I love his music. I hope they book him for a nighttime slot because he did play very early circuit grounds on day 3, and I think he just deserves more. Will Atkinson, this is going to be trance. Wooly is probably up there with like some of my favorite bass artists. If I had to name like some of my favorite bass artists, Wooly would definitely be up there. He just throws down and then also like throws in some of that melodic bass in there too, so I just really enjoy it. Yoshi and Razner, this is going to be trance. Zed, I always have a soft spot for. And then finally on day 2, we have Zeds Dead, back-to-back Chase and Status. I didn't know who Chase and Status were before, but they are drum and bass. So I'm very intrigued to see what this back-to-back entails between Zeds Dead and Chase and Status. This is definitely one of those sets that I would be interested in seeing. So my Saturday top picks, we have Boris Brejcha, Camden Cox, CHANEY, Ferreck Dawn, Hot Since 82, James Kaytraynada, KETTAMA, Korolova, Mal P, Metrik's back-to-back Grafix, Michael Bibi, Mochakk, Salute, and then Zeds Dead, back-to-back Chase and Status. A very vibey house day mixed in with some drum and bass. This is a really solid like house music day for me, if I'm being honest, now looking at this. All right, the final day. I went in on this video. I'm sorry it's long, but we went in. Okay, moving on to Sunday. We have 8Ks, which was going to be like melodic techno. They have some releases on Afterlife Records, which is Tale of Us's label. So if you like some of the music on, you know, Tale of Us's label and you like Tale of Us, this could be a really good artist to check out. 9x9, this is going to be your heavy, hard hitting techno. I have yet to see them, but I have definitely been wanting to. 100 Drums, this is going to be more of like your experimental bass, very similar to like a Closey almost. I have been wanting to see her. Abana is going to be up and coming house artist, groovy tech house. I wasn't too familiar, but I took a look at some of their songs and I really enjoyed it. Akray's back-to-back Noizu is very interesting to me. I wouldn't normally put them together. I'm definitely intrigued, but I might listen to like the SoundCloud set afterwards. I don't know if I would go and see them live, but that's a very interesting back-to-back in booking in my opinion. Adrenalize is going to be hardstyle. Andin has a lot of releases on Yodo's labels, so if you like some of that like melodic house, Yodo is also on this day, but if you like some of that type of music, Andin is definitely a good choice to check out. Then we have Armin van Buuren, the king of trance. You know, he's probably going to be at Kinetic Field. It would be really incredible to see him on that stage 100%. I've yet to see a full Armin set. I'm going to be honest. I haven't done it. I haven't had a full chance to really. Baggy is going to be house music. This is an artist that has been around really. I wasn't too familiar before and I'm like, why haven't I known? So definitely want to be diving more into their music a little bit. Ben Nicky presents Extreme back-to-back Sub-Zero project. This is going to be hardstyle. Then we have Bensley, back-to-back Justin Hawks. This is going to be drum and bass. Then we have Black Tiger Sex Machine, Blank, Boogie T, and Borgor back-to-back Level Up. Those are all really solid bass acts to see. Borgor back-to-back Level Up, I would not have put together ever, honestly. So I'd be very curious about that. Brennan Hart is going to be hardstyle. Then we have Kaposi. This is a really awesome house artist, kind of more bass house, but it's like the Chami bass house, the Mala bass house, not like your Knock 2 or Nostalgics types bass house. But I really have been wanting to see her. I just haven't gotten a chance to. Chris Lorenzo and Sid are always great house artists to see. Code Black is hardstyle. Disturb is hardstyle. Deadly Guns is hardstyle. Then we have Deeper Purpose. This is a really solid house artist to see. Dennis Ferrer is an artist that I saw for the first time last year, and I will say I felt like he just puts his soul into his set, and I really, really enjoyed it. Dioro is always a good time. Dimension, this is a drum and bass artist. One of my friends, Bibi, absolutely loves this artist. I haven't seen him live, but would love to see him. Dirt Monkey, this is going to be a really good bass set. DJ Minx is also just one of those classic Chicago house DJs you have to go check out. Dombresky has another set. He's going to be bopping around. He has 3 sets just like James Hype. Ellen Alien, this is another heavy hitting techno artist to check out. I actually haven't seen Ellen Alien, but she's been on my list. Enamor, this is going to be an artist that is on Lane 8's label, some of that like deep house, melodic house type music. Excision has his own set. That's going to be crazy. Then we have Frame, which is Declan, James, and Decoder. This is going to be a techno back-to-back, probably at Neon Garden. Franky Wah, I've been talking about a lot. I have been wanting to see him. I think he's definitely on the rise. He has more of that, you know, techno influence, but it's more house and like really high buildups, and has some of those like buildups and takes you on a journey. I have really been wanting to see him. Not Fred again, but Fred Everything. And people are probably wondering, who is Fred Everything? He's actually a DJ that's been around since the 90s. He's been around for a minute. So I feel like a lot of people were upset about Fred again, but honestly, I don't see Fred again doing EDC. I don't know. It's similar to like Odessa. I don't see Odessa ever being at EDC. It's just not really kind of their booking or their, you never know though. Fred again could pop up at EDC, but Fred Everything, give him a chance. Give him a chance. Gammer back-to-back Tweakacore. This is going to be hard style. Gareth Emery has another trance set. Gentlemen's Club, this is going to be a UK trio. They play like a variety of things within bass music. Good Boys, they have a lot of songs with Medusa, with Acraze. They have a new release with Korolova. I'd be curious to see if they actually like DJ, because I know them as like vocalists, right? I thought that was very interesting. Griztronics, everyone is talking about. This is going to be GRiZ and Subtronics coming together for a set. I think this will be very iconic and so much fun. Hannah Wants is a really great house artist. She's always a good time. Hole is going to be dubstep. I Hate Models, heavy hitting hard techno. Like, I can't even describe it. Like, he brings the BPM so up there. Like, it's very intense and very heavy, but I feel like would be cool to see. He's played EDC before. We just didn't get a chance to see him, but we saw him last year at Seismic. Amanu, this artist plays bass, plays house, very similar to like a Zeds, where they just play like a variety of genres. I really do enjoy their music. Jay Wara, Jaded, James Hype, all really great house artists. Jeff Mills is also very legendary. Joshua is a really great house artist. Kalina Sanders, I'm so excited to see on this lineup. She is a vocalist, but she has been, you know, producing more and DJing more, and I think it's just super incredible to see, and she's going to be playing EDC. I'm just so excited for her. I first found her because of the California song that she did with Sunburn, and just to see her grow, it's just super cool. Cascade is also doing a redo set, which I feel like is always very iconic to see at EDC. You guys know I love Lane 8 and I love Lay Youth, so having them both on the same day, I am so jealous of everyone that gets to see it. There's like a little bit of like a This Never Happened kind of takeover happening this day, which I'm very jealous about. LevinCon is going to be hard style, loud luxury, very high energy type set, kind of some, I put them in the same kind of bucket as the Chainsmokers lately. Marshmello back-to-back Sudden Death. I know I said I don't have any opinions about Marshmello. I have never seen Sudden Death, but I would go see this back-to-back if I'm being honest. If I'm being real, I would go see this back-to-back because I'm so curious about it. Martin Horger is a really great house artist. Definitely love a lot of the music he's put out. Martin Garrix is always a good time, especially seeing him at EDC. Mochakk is going to be hard style. Peekaboo for some of that experimental wobbly bass. So good. Rainier Zonneveld, if you like techno, you have to go see Rainier. He does everything live, and it's super incredible the way he builds everything, builds all of it. I was just blown away when I saw him. I saw him in 2021 at EDC, and then again at Seismic Dance Event. Prop G, 30 years. This has me thinking it's going to be like a hard style 30 years kind of throwback set. Then we have Say My Name. He's always throws down. Shipwreck. This is going to be a house duo. I haven't seen a set of theirs, but I do love their music. Very good, high energy, bouncy type of house music. Slander actually has two sets on Sunday. They have like their typical Slander set. We had a good time at Slander in 2021. And now they have their Slander Presents Before Dawn, which is going to be their techno set, which I find to be so interesting and so intriguing. I'm curious if they're going to put this at like a circuit grounds or if they're really going to put them in Neon Garden. Like, that's what I want to know. I would definitely check this out. I'm very intrigued by it. I feel like it would be super cool to see them kind of dabble in techno. Sunny Federa does have another set. Soren is going to be hard style. Space Motion is going to be like some of that melodic house and techno. Sultan and Shepherd, very similar to Lane 8 and Lay Youth. Like I said, This Never Happened vibes. Chami back-to-back AC Slater is very dope. Things You Say this was like a more of like a collective kind of thing, it sounded like. From what I heard, it was very groovy house, kind of takes you on a journey. I'm not too familiar with them, but I would be curious about this. To be honest, was in the house realm. Todd Terry is just like an OG classic house DJ to check out. Township Rebellion. We love Township Rebellion over here. Township Rebellion just takes you on a journey when it comes to like house and techno. And like we saw them at Electric Forest and just, it was such a good time. Seeing them at EDC would be dope. I hope they would put them at like Neon Garden or something. Tsunami, I wasn't too familiar with, but I saw it as like cute future bass. I really did like the song When I Fall. It was kind of reminding me of like a girly Porter Robinson. And I really liked her music. I definitely want to get into her a little bit more. Wax Motif will have his own solo set. Wax is always a good time. Will Clark, I love. I think it's been a while since he's been at EDC. He definitely has more of like that techno house. Like it's house music, but it has more of that techno influence to it. I haven't seen Yellow Claw in a long time, but you know, I could be in a trappy mood. I would go see Yellow Claw. And then we end with Yodo, who I absolutely love. I love Yodo's music, some of that like deep melodic music, and I've always enjoyed Yodo's sets. Longest EDC video of my life, but to round it out, my Sunday top picks, we have 9x9, and then I bucketed together Bensley, back-to-back Justin Hawks, and Dimension for some drum and bass. Franky Wah, Griztronics, I Hate Models, Amanu, Jaded, Kalina Sanders, Cascade Redo, Lane 8, Lay Youth, Enamor, Sultan Shepherd, kind of bucket it all into one. Marshmallow, back-to-back Sudden Death, Rainier Zonneveld, Slander Presents Before Dawn, and then Township Rebellion. Those are all of my recs. I will put those in the description in case you want just like a quick reference again. I might put together like genres. I don't know if it'll be a video or if I'll just post it on Instagram and TikTok, so go follow me over there. I'm going to try to bucket everyone together based on genres. So if you like bass, like here's everyone to check out. And I know I was saying, oh, they're hard style. Like I might try to get more granular. So that might be a little bit more helpful. But I just wanted to give you an idea. You know, if you like house music, here are the artists maybe to look at. If you like techno, here are the artists to look at. Drum and bass, so on and so forth. So I hope this video was helpful. We went all in. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know who you're excited to see. I hope you have the best time at EDC. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you did like today's video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button to vibe with me. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.